Get ready for the latest, most applicable clips to this pandemic crisis from the Online Success Journey podcast. From the last 2 episodes, as a matter of fact, with Larry Ludwig and Stuart Atkins. This is a special edition of the Online Success Journey podcast. During these challenging times during the COVID-19 crisis, we're bringing you fresh and relevant ideas and information to help your business. Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey.
Up first, 2 questions answered by Larry Ludwig.
How are you seeing this today's digital marketing going on? If someone wants to live their everyday 9-to-5 job, they want to move online, and what is happening at the moment, what would be your advice?
Well, if they're just starting out, I guess the advice would be, it's something that you don't instantly overnight, become a success. Usually a success in the making is 5 to 10 years. And realize this is a long game with any business you start. And just realize that if others have been able to be successful, really model them and look towards them as leaders and guidance of what you can do and what's possible. So don't be frustrated along the way. I mean, without question, my business had its ups and downs, and there were times where I wanted to quit. And I think being persistent and keeping really the drive going is something you have to look at almost on a daily basis.
At the moment, others are really worried and they are shutting down, the websites are closing, and everyone is really thinking on what is happening, what is next. What is the future for the internet? What is the future internet?
I think the future of the internet is, if anything, more so. Right now we're currently recording this during the coronavirus pandemic, and I think it's going to become even more so as far as online transactions. I mean, you look at how much we're doing online. I can't imagine if we were 20, 30 years ago, we had this pandemic, what we would do as a society, or just be able to order simple things. You can still order things online and still have it delivered to your doorstep, where, again, that was really not possible. So I can't imagine how much different things would be just 20 years ago. With that said, I think in the future, I think we're still just scratching the surface of what's possible with the internet and in terms of technology and what can you do with your mobile device in terms of just day-to-day transactions. So we're still just at the forefront of this technology. So to think as a business owner or someone just starting out that everyone's developed things, there's no new technology going to be happening, that's really just not true. If you really look at the past 10 years alone and how much is advanced, 10 years ago we really didn't have iPhone. We didn't have smartphones where we can do all these transactions on our devices, and now it's commonplace. So it's going to be the same thing in the next 10 years. We're going to have these leapfrogs in technology, and you just got to be on the forefront of what's down the pipe.
And now an insightful response from Stuart Atkins.
You said you started your business 2008, and 2008 to 2009, there was also a pivot in the online world. How did you manage to start your business in that time?
I love your question because I just wrote a blog post on 15 tips for businesses and individuals. How do they deal with the COVID-19 market? And one of the points I made in those 15 tips of the blog post I wrote was that I started my business during an economic downturn in 2008, during a recession. And a lot of people don't realize it, but Federal Express, Microsoft, General Electric, a lot of major companies were started during recessions. So it's actually a good time to start a business. It's not an easy time, but there's often opportunity when the economy's struggling and when customers are looking for products that are really going to add value. So I would encourage individuals there's more people today because of the environment that may have lost their job. This may be an opportunity for those individuals. They need to see it from a positive standpoint, not a negative standpoint. Sometimes an economic downturn is the best time to start a business, because there's opportunity, there's concerns and needs about certain products or services. And it's often, if you're creative and innovative, you can fulfill a need. And there is success found in downturns. And I think people need to see it from a positive standpoint. As tough as it's going to be, and it's not going to be easy. We're not through this yet. There's still opportunity, and a lot of great businesses, small, medium, and big, have been founded during economic downturns, and my company is a perfect example of that.
Thank you so much. That's a wrap, Clan.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.